Okay, here's a quick update on December 22nd. I decided, I was kind of contemplating whether I should put fiberglass on the bottom of the keel, since it's going to be bedded and everything. And I went ahead and did it. I decided better safe than sorry. Really no reason not to do it. I had some extra fiberglass and some 10-ounce, standard, E-glass, I guess they call it. And so I put that on there, overlapped it a little bit. I think I cut it 11.5 inches, and it's 9-inch wide keel, so that gives us an inch plus overhang on each side. And then eventually the rest of the keel will get faired and fiberglassed, up to that point there where it's fiberglass down from the top. Here's the cloth that I was using. I think they just call this E-glass. It's a little heavier than what you'd normally use. I used that when I built my other boat. I don't know. They were calling 6 or 8 ounce glass. Would have been a great plenty, but of course I decided to go better. Bigger is always better, right? Anyway, so I had some of that left over from my other boat. I put one coat of epoxy down, put the glass on, put another coat of epoxy on it, lightly sanded it with some 80 grit on a random orbital sander, dusted it, hit it with some alcohol in a rag, and then put another coat of epoxy on it. When I built my other boat using this 10-ounce cloth, I found 4 coats, an initial and then 3 on top was required to completely fill the weave of the fabric, so that when you sanded, you weren't sanding right into fiberglass. I don't think I'm going to put another coat on here because this isn't really a finished coat, and it's pretty decent. I mean, it's not filled everywhere. The weave isn't filled completely all the way top everywhere, but it's pretty good. Good enough, I think. So we'll call that good. Here's the piece that's going to go stern. Actually, it's got the the shaft lug is going to be incorporated into this piece here now. It gets cut at an angle from back there to up here, and then a little bit the other direction too. It comes up the stern log, and then it goes down. Shaft log. And I haven't entirely decided what I'm going to do there yet. Cutting this thing is going to be a little more challenging than I had even initially suspected, I think. Because here's the piece here. These 2 lines running down here just indicate the no, what the hell's the rabbit and the bearding lines for the planking to notch into. But this piece in here, see, it tapers all the way out there, comes up here, and then tapers backwards. And then and there's another piece that sits on top of it, and then the shaft goes through there. That's the center line of the shaft right there. So I'm going to have to lay this out and then cut this angle out, I think, and then cut down, then cut this angle out, and then make this piece here to set up. Then I'll have to, of course, plunge cut or whatever in there. I'm not sure how I'll do that yet. I suppose just the skill saw, circular saw. But anyway, that will be what this piece here is trying to be. And then that piece over there is actually ready to be sized, cut and formed to fit into this piece. So once I get this, this is done, I'll flip it over again and start working on cutting that thing up and getting it to fit this properly. And then it's going to start looking a little bit more like a keel. And of course we got more pieces to make yet. Once this piece is done, then we got another piece here. It goes all the way back. And we got a knee there. And then we got this very bow pieces I haven't made yet. Nor this one. So there's a few more to make yet, but we're getting there slowly but surely. I'll probably leave this transom off because I'm gonna try to get the fuel tanks made after I get the framing up. Bring the fuel tanks in back through here, so I probably won't work on this stern until much later in the process. Get the big things into the boat that I have to get into the boat. Now, with this overhead hoist, this chain hoist, it shouldn't be too difficult for me to get stuff into the boat, providing I don't have, even with the transom on, I'd probably have enough room up there to actually pull things all the way up. We were talking to a friend of mine about that the other day, and there should be enough clearance here, and the boat's going to come back to about here, so that gives me about 8 or 9 feet back here. I can bring the motor in through the door here, hook it up to the gantry, to the crane, and swing it all the way down there, and then drop it into the boat. Shouldn't be an issue. And the fuel tanks could probably do the same thing, but I still think I'll leave that transom off initially just to make it easier to get stuff in there. Even sheets of plywood and whatnot would be easier to get in there probably. So that's where we stand on December, I think it's the 22nd. Don't quote me on that.